Hello and welcome back to The Real Deal. Today we have got two games for you, Espanyol and Las Palmas. Both of these games are in La Liga, of course. We did toy with the idea of playing the Champions League game against PSG today, but that would be a lot of games in between episodes and you'd probably get lost, I think. So today all we're doing is focusing on the league, and things are still looking pretty good for us in the league. Last few games have been a little bit iffy, but other than that, we're still looking pretty good at top of the table. Since you were last here then for the Manchester United and the Betis game, we've played mostly league games, a few Spanish Cup games as well, but mostly league games. We start off with Real San Sebastian, Real Sociedad, a nice 4-1 win at home there, which is really good stuff. Orsolini, Cardia and Luka Adic with a brace to make sure we got the 3 points in that game. We then beat Deportivo La Coruña 2-1 away from home. Nacho and Luka Adic once again getting on the score sheet. He's been really, really good in between episodes. We then had the winter break. We played a team called Prat in the winter break. I'm not quite sure if they're any good or not, but we beat them 6-1. Hans Osmanovic with a hat-trick. Of course, he was back from injury after that game. We had to survive without him for those 2 games in the league, but we got him back after the winter break, which was very nice. And we started off the winter break, or the second half of the season after the winter break, with a very, very tough fixture at home against Real Madrid, who are chasing us down in the league. We managed to get a 1-1 draw there, which was pretty good, I've got to say. Real Madrid obviously a decent side. They scored early on. Ricardo Orsolini scoring later on for us. We went one better in the first leg of the Spanish Cup. We managed to win 2-0 against Real Madrid at home this time. Orsolini and Hans Osmanovic with the goals there to give us a 2-0 lead in the Spanish Cup 5th round first leg, which we thought was going to be enough to send us through. However, despite keeping, I think, just about the exact same lineup as the team that played against Real Madrid, we went away to Levante. I think it was pretty much the same line. I think it actually is the exact same line. I don't think we did change anything. Despite not changing anything, we then go to Levante and lose 4-1 in a really weird game. Like, we're the side on top. All the stats were in our favour, basically, but we just couldn't seem to finish, and then our defence just capitulated. They just couldn't do anything, basically. So a real weird defeat there, a 4-1 defeat to Levante. And then the second leg against Real Madrid in the Spanish Cup, they beat us 5-1 at home. So there we go. I can't quite explain what happened in these 2 games. I'm not entirely sure, because, I mean, I just sat there, watched the games, did what I thought was best to do, and we lost 4-1. Nothing really different to what I've done for most of the rest of the season, where we've seemed to have won everything very convincingly and barely conceded any goals at all. In fact, that Vigo game was the only game I think we've conceded more than 1 goal in a game, that Manchester United game 2-0. But a vast majority of games we either kept clean sheets or only conceded 1. To then have 2 games in a row where we concede 9 goals in 2 games, I'm not quite sure. Either way, hopefully it doesn't repeat itself today against Espanyol or Las Palmas. All of those results in the league mean that we do stay top of the table by 5 points, which is very nice. 15 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses as well. So just keeping ourselves 5 points clear of Madrid, who've had 1 draw and 1 more loss than us as well. Interestingly, actually, Madrid have scored more goals than us and have conceded less goals than us as well. Only the 1 goal less conceded, but it's still not great. Barcelona have recovered. They're back into 3rd place, but they're still 11 points off us, as are Vigo. Real San Sebastian, 12 points. Valencia, 12 points. I mean, a lot of teams are a long way off us, so it's only Real Madrid that we need to worry about in this second half of the season, I reckon. Unless we really, really do something badly wrong, it's just going to be between us and Real Madrid, I think. So this then is the team for today's game against Espanyol. A very, very slight change. I think we only made 1 change in defence. Sasa Babic comes out because Lemos has been injured for a little while, so Lemos is coming back into the side for today's game. But other than that, it's not really much changed since the side that lost 5-1 to Real Madrid last game. But I just don't think there's a better side at the moment than this side. Either way, though, we've got Berke Urza in goal with a backline of Cucurella, Sharon, Lemos and Ruiz. Harbo is at CDM with Dad and Cardia just ahead of him. Adic on the left, Orsolini on the right, and Osmanovic starts up front. And kickoff is upon us with the home side today, so hopefully the home crowd will get behind us. But if the last 2 games that we played off camera are anything to go by, this could be a bit difficult. Hopefully we haven't hit a bump in the road. Hopefully that's not happened, because if we have and we just start going downhill from here on out, that would be atrocious. There's a corner early on actually for I had to say Oviedo, but it's not Oviedo. Obviously, it's Espanyol. The corner came from Espanyol, didn't go in the back of the net, collected by Berke Urza, which is quite nice. He's been outstanding all season, Berke Urza, apart from the past 2 games, which I just don't understand what happened. I really can't explain what happened. It's weird. But we have a free kick now in an defensive position. Sharon plays it out wide, and it's started to make its way back into the middle of the park now as Osmanovic gets it through to Luka Adic, who's in the area, gets in behind his defender, puts it in at the near post past the goalkeeper, and he scores the first goal of today's game, putting us back on top by 5 points. Real Madrid played. There was a few games to play actually before I started this game. Real Madrid was one of them. They won their game, but we seem to be winning ours right now, so we go back 5 points clear. Espanyol, though, trying to mount a response as Gerard Moreno can't pick out a pass and passes it to Orsolini, who's picked up a knock, actually. We have to take him off in a moment's time. But Osmanovic gets on the end of Orsolini's pass and he puts it in the back of the net to make it 2-0 within 25 minutes of the game. Lovely stuff. Looks like he wants to come off with a pulled groin, apparently. Now, I know we don't have players on the bench. Can Stan play there? No, not particularly. Can Cordero play there? We know he likes to play on the wing a little bit. Cardia. No one likes to play right wing. Osmanovic. No. Can Luka Adzic, maybe our hero here, playing on the left wing as an inside forward. We may have to put Leonardo Meza on the other side of the pitch to take off the injured Orsolini. He's been really, really good, actually. He started the season a little bit slow, but has become really, really top quality throughout the rest of the season. So I don't want to risk him too much. We're going to take him off the pitch. As we say, Adzic switches across and Meza comes on for the injured Orsolini. Other than the injury and the 2 goals, though, not much action going on in the first half, which is fine. As I always say, it's always fine if there's not much action going on and you're winning. That's fine. Oh, Real Madrid are actually playing now. I thought they played earlier on, but they're playing now against Granada. They scored 2 minutes into the game, which is why they went straight up to 70 points. That's why I thought, because loads of games that were playing before us, basically. So I just thought it was one of them when I saw they were instantly on 3 extra points than what they started the episode on. So that's what I thought. Very nice to contain Espanyol to only 1 shot in this first half. That's pretty good going from our defence. This is the defence that we've been used to all season. Honestly, I don't know. Even last game, though, when we played the Levante game, they only had about 7-8 shots or something like that, and 4 of them seemed to go in the back of a net. So they got very lucky in that game, I think. Hopefully, though, we can just seal the game out in this second half. We want the 3 points. The 3 points is all that matters at this stage. We just need to keep the form going, keep getting the 3 points. As long as we can keep grinding that out, I think the title should be as good as ours. The form we had at the very start of the season, when we only conceded, we had 9 clean sheets in the opening 10, 11, 12 games or so, as Luka Adzic makes it 3-0, getting on the end of a cross there. Fantastic stuff to extend the scoreline, help our goal difference out a bit as well, because Real Madrid, we drew against them in the league. We beat them in the cup, we lost them in the cup, but we drew against them in the league. So as things stand, as we just score another goal, Mauricio Lemos getting on the end of a dad free kick. Wonderful stuff. As I was saying, though, as we drew in the league, the head-to-head record doesn't count because we drew. So you can't have a head-to-head record against a team that drew. So goal difference would come into question against us and Real Madrid right now. So if we draw the next game we play against them, and then we somehow get to level points, it will be all down to goal difference. So this is what we need, the big goal difference for. We just conceded a goal there. I was hoping we'd keep a clean sheet today because we haven't for a little while. Unfortunately, Espanyol have managed to score a goal, which isn't great. We are going to make some changes, though. Thomas Partey is going to come on for Harbo in that CDM position. And I feel like we should probably change one of these 2 central midfielders. Dad's slightly more tired, but he's got a better rating. So we're going to take Kadir off and we're going to bring Stan on for him. Oh, my word. There's another goal for Espanyol. I missed that one. Let's just quickly go back to watch it again. So the throw-in came in. Gerard Moreno into Schmid. Plays it back to the guy, the throw-in, Isaac, who puts the cross in. That's poor from Sharon to just leave his man completely there at the near post to score the goal. Hopefully, we'll switch on now because, in fact, what I'll do is I'll say concentrate to them. We may have got 3 points and we're still 5 points ahead, but that 5 points could disappear very quickly, and we do need the goal difference over Real Madrid as things stand at the moment with only the 1 draw against them. Corner for them now, though, as in the 90th minute, the corner comes in. Adzic clears it, but only goes as far as the corner taker himself. He comes back centrally into the pitch, takes a shot, though, and it's absolutely rubbish. That's fine. And that is that. We come away 4-2 winners on the day. Questionable to concede those 2 goals, I've got to say. We shouldn't have done that. We should have kept a clean sheet, really. So we can be... we can't be too upset because we did win the game 4-2. But if we want to be perfectionists that win the league, those 2 goals should not have gone in the back of the net. Orsolini's going to be out for 6 to 8 days with his pulled groin. So he probably won't play in the next game against Las Palmas, which is in 6 days' time, actually. It's been a long time since we've had nearly a week off a game with all the Champions League stuff and cup games and things like that. It's been a while since we've been able to have this amount of time off. And now as more and more transfers come in, I've just got to keep rejecting them. So this is what my life's going to be in between episodes, or in between games rather. I reckon I've been quite clever just now because I keep having to press reject on every loan deal that comes through. I don't want players to go on loan. So I've decided to go on holiday for these 4 days before this Las Palmas game, and my assistant manager is automatically set to reject everything that comes through. So fingers crossed that'll all be sorted by the time we get back. Well, I had more than 25 bids to go through before I went on holiday, so I guess it kind of has worked. So maybe that's just the trick to get out of it. Just keep going on holiday in between games in January, unless you're trying to buy players, of course. And that gets rid of all the bids for you, because otherwise it's just a nightmare trying to deal with it all. Or at least it is for me, because I just can't be bothered with it. I just cannot be bothered with it at all. Right, so I'm here now for the Las Palmas game. The only thing I'm going to change is the wingers in this game. Now, I would bring on Pelaez in this situation, but he's just come back from an injury himself, and he's only got 54% match fitness. It also says back here, only playing for 45 minutes as well. So I'm not going to play him. We're going to switch over, if we can get back to the right screen. We're going to put Adzic on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side once again. Bring him over that side of the pitch. We'll bring Leonardo Meza on that left-hand side of the pitch instead. And then we'll take Orsolini off. And we'll bring on, where is it? We'll bring players on the bench for now. So they're the two changes that we'll make, or well, one change really, I suppose, but two changes to swap them over in positions. That's what I'm going to do. We're going into this game now against Las Palmas, and hopefully we'll pick up another win. Las Palmas, we beat them on the first day of the season pretty comfortably, so fingers crossed we can do the same again now. Right then, kickoff is upon us here in sunny Gran Canaria, of course. Las Palmas on an island of Gran Canaria, which is actually quite a long way from the Spanish mainland, so it's like quite a long way for teams to go for a game, and it's quite a long way for Las Palmas to go every single week to play games, I've got to say. Like, imagine that commitment, because Gran Canaria is sort of more off the coast of Africa, off the west coast of Africa, as opposed to being quite close to Spain, like perhaps the Balearic Islands are and things like that. We've just conceded a penalty though. I'm not entirely sure how. I mean, a cross came in and it just went all the way through, and it said penalty. So that's not great. They're now taking a penalty, Las Palmas. But Burke makes a huge save, and Cucurella manages to... In fact, I don't think it was Cucurella kicked it off the pitch. I think it was their player that kicked it off the pitch in the end, under pressure from Cucurella. But a fantastic save from Burke. He's a very good shot stopper, I've got to say. He does save quite a few penalties. As I was saying though, like, for a player for Las Palmas, every week or every other week, they have to make, I think it's at least a 2-hour flight to like the south of Spain, like to get to like Malaga or something, maybe an hour and a half. But it's a long flight, so for them to get to us in Oviedo, for example, in very, very north Spain, that must be a good few hours. Although I suppose you could say the same thing, like, you know, if Cardiff are playing away at Newcastle, they'll probably get the coach, won't they? They'll probably get a bus, and that's probably just as long. So maybe I'm being a bit over the top with how far away it all is, but it is a good flight at least. In a similar vein to last game though, nothing is happening in this first half. There was a penalty, and then other than that, nothing. Like in the last game, it was 2 goals, then nothing. Penalty in this one, and nothing since then. Hopefully we get ourselves back in. I mean, look at the stats. Stats are not looking great. Perhaps we're jet lags, which can't be possible because we're in the same time zone, but maybe it's something to do with that. Half time then, we do need to go very aggressive with them. I'm far from pleased from what I've just seen from this team. Get out there in the second half and actually start playing football. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. Sharon's just picked up a red card, which you hate to see. You hate to see that. That's not good at all. We're going to bring Harbo back then. I was going to sacrifice him to bring Sousa on that attacking midfield position, but we can't do that now. I want to repair that hole at the back. Sanchez is going to come on for him. He's also got a left foot on him, which is quite good. So he can come on that left-hand side of the centre of defence. I reckon there's still enough about us in our squad to maintain or get the 3 points in today's game, of course. Of course, there's still a long way to go in it as Las Palmas come forward looking dangerous. Burke Ozil with another penalty. I'm not entirely sure what Sanchez... He's literally on the pitch 30 seconds and he's given away a penalty. I'm not entirely sure what for. Can Burke save it again? They put it over the bar this time. That's 2 penalties missed for Las Palmas. We've been very, very lucky this game so far. And if we can snatch a win now, they'll be very cross with us, I think. What we're going to say then is push forward. And I think we may make some personnel change, perhaps. Perhaps a chance for us now, though, as Cucurella gets on the ball and plays it out to Leonardo Meza, who plays it into Osmanovic, who's pretty free in the centre of the pitch, gets into the area, passes it to Luka Adzic, even though he was basically through on goal there. I'm not quite sure why he felt the need to pass it. Saved by the goalkeeper, goes out for a corner. Adzic takes it, gets on the head of Lemos, but is put over the bar. I think we are going to change things a little bit. Ruiz hasn't played particularly well at right back and is also on a yellow card, and this referee seems to be quite happy to give out yellow cards and red cards. So we're going to move him there, and we're going to bring Sousa on in that attacking midfield position. Obviously that leaves a bit of a hole at right back, so to sort of counter that, we're going to move Cucurella into the middle, so we're a bit more spaced out at centre back position, and Vazquez is going to come on for Cucurella at the back. So we're going to play 3. We're playing fairly narrow apart from up top. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue with 10 men. I think we've got enough about us to keep our, well, hopefully keep the clean sheet. Hopefully this change will bring a bit more creativity up front, and we could perhaps grab a goal or two. Alternatively, it could lead to Las Palmas going on the attack. Lemos gets in the way there, though. He makes the interception there. Bernardo Sousa can come forward with the ball. Leonardo Meza back towards Dad. Cardia now on the ball. We're coming forward in numbers now. Osmanovic is playing out very wide. Shouldn't really be out that far out wide, but it does create space in the middle for Dad. Adzic can't quite get on the end of Dad's pass. A very, very good interception at the back there. And here come Las Palmas again, coming against our three-man defence. Although if they can shoot from there all day, that would be fine, because they're never going to score from that distance. I mean, the stats are slowly turning into Las Palmas' favour as well. They've now equalled the amount of shots we've had in games. That's not great. I mean, if we can hold them for a draw, that'd be good. But I'd like a bit more than that. I'm going to say push forward to the boys once again. Push forward. We'll go on over. We're taking a risk here, but we do need to get the 3 points today, because, of course, Real Madrid is still to play. If they win, they're only 2 points behind us then, and that's quite dangerous. But it could go all wrong here. And that's a decent save there. Fantastic stuff. Osmanovic now on the ball, coming forward. Osmanovic through still. I thought he was about to get the pass off to Dad. Didn't quite come out in the end. And the highlight ends. I suppose we draw today, actually. We're still 3 points ahead of Real Madrid, so that's good. But they do have better goal difference than us. So if we end up losing another game and they win another game, then, of course, they will go ahead of us, which isn't great. Corner now for Las Palmas right at the end. It's been cleared by Sousa. Is there going to be... Oh, there's another chance. Surely they're all offside. Berkeley makes the interception, gets the ball, collects the cross, which is quite nice. Now, he's got a chance to show his distribution. He plays it up towards Dad, who wins the ball, down to Kadir. He puts it up towards Luka Adzic, who can't quite get it. The ball back to the goalkeeper. It was kind of all right. The keeper got it away, but we are coming straight back at them. Sousa into Osmanovic. Hans Osmanovic in the 91st minute scores the goal to seal the victory, hopefully. We're going to go back to standard. We're going to go to... I think we're on flexible already. That's fine. Hopefully, we can just see the game out now. They clear the ball up out of defence. Vazquez collects it. Just play it back to the goalkeeper. He can hold on to it for a good few seconds. Lemos, just play it back. Yes, we've won the game. Fantastic stuff, scoring very late on that. I knew we could do it. That's really, really good stuff. It means we temporarily go 8 points ahead of Real Madrid, although I assume they're going to win their game later on in the day, or tomorrow, actually, on Sunday, I think they play. Yeah, they play tomorrow, so we're currently 8 points ahead of them temporarily, but do expect them to go 5 points behind us once again when they probably win their game. Right, not long, actually, until next episode. What we are going to do, we're going to do the PSG game, obviously, and the Granada game, so hopefully that'll be quite a tasty episode. Thank you very much for watching today's episode then. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Real Deal